Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the parallel session at the International Conference on Advancement in Data Science, E-Learning and Information System, or ICAD-IES 2025. First thing first, let me introduce myself. My name is Fauzan Firdaus, and I am very honored to serve as the moderator for this session. Today, we have a series of remarkable presentations that will explore recommendation system. Before we start, let's do a quick attendance check. I will call out names one by one. Okay, wait. Okay. Um, okay, Mr. Alfiesa Wirawan, are you there?
Yes, I'm present.
Are you ready for our today's session?
Yes, I'm very ready.
Okay, thank you. Next, Mrs. Tiara Zamroni, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. I'm present.
Okay, are you ready for our session today?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, thank you. Next, we have Ilham Adilion. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, are you ready for our session today?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Next, Fatan Askar, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, are you ready for our session today?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, the last presenter we have Alicia Christina Parinusa. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, are you ready for our session today?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, everyone, before we begin, allow me to outline the format for this session. Each presenter will have 10 minutes to deliver their presentation. At the 8th minute, I will give a reminder that there are 2 minutes left. And at the 10th minute, I will announce that time is up. Following each presentation, there will be a 5-minute question and answer. For online sessions, each presenter will have a maximum of 15 minutes for Q&A. I kindly ask all attendees to hold their questions until the Q&A session after each presentation. So please, everyone, if you have a question for the presenter, ask it during the Q&A session. If a presenter is not ready to present within 1 minute of their scheduled time, we will proceed with the next presenter. The presenter who was not ready will be rescheduled to present at the end of the session. After all the presenters have finished during other presenter sessions, please mute your microphone unless you are permitted to speak. Okay, now I will emphasize the rules for today's session. First, Q&A session. A maximum time Q&A session is 5 minutes. And the second one is use of camera. The presenter must have their camera on during the session unless they have received permission from the moderator or there are technical issues that require the camera to be off. Regarding the questions, if a presenter would like to ask a question when it is not their turn, please use the raise hand feature in the Zoom. And then the last thing is about microphone. Presenters must mute their microphones during other presenter session unless asked by the moderator or given to ask questions. Okay, before we begin, let's take a group screenshot to capture the moment. I kindly ask all participants and presenters to turn on their cameras and make sure you are visible on the screen. Please smile and I'll count down from 3. 3, 2, 1. Okay, one more time. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Now, without further ado, let's welcome our first presenter. We have Mr. Alfiesa Wirawan as the first presenter from Telkom University. He will present a paper titled Carfin Co-Recommender System based on Conversational Recommender System using Large Language Model. You have 10 minutes. Place and time are welcome. Before we start the presentation, Mr. Alfiesa, would you like to present live, or maybe you want to playing a video?
No, just share screen only presentation.
Okay. Okay, go ahead, Mr. Alfiesa. You have 10 minutes. Place and time are welcome.
Okay, I just want to confirm, is my voice audible and is the share screen is visible?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you to Mr. Fauzan for the opportunity that has been given before starting today presentation. Let me introduce myself. My name Alfiesa Widjawirawan from Telkom University. Okay, let's get started. This research starts with the problem of the overwhelming number of car options in the market, which often confuses consumer while existing recommendation system like a deep understanding of user need. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to present our research titled Carfin, car recommender system based on conversational recommender system using large language model which we have developed to address this challenge. There are four main topics in today's presentation. First, introduction, methodology, result and discussion, and lastly, conclusion. Okay, in recent years, the increase in car sales in Indonesia reflects the growing demand for mobility. However, consumers often face confusion when choosing a car due to the vast number of options available. In this digital era, recommendation systems have become an essential tool for providing relevant information based on individual preference. Technological advancement, particularly in deep learning, have enabled the development of more personalized and complex recommendation system, offering suggestions more aligned with user needs. Although numerous studies have been conducted on car recommendation system, several limitations still exist. Most of the existing systems lack a deep understanding of user need and do not provide flexible interaction. This creates an opportunity to develop a more intelligent and interactive system. This research aims to address this limitation by developing Carfin, a car recommendation system based on conversational recommender system that leverage large language model technology. The system is designed to offer more relevant recommendation, better understand user need, and enable more flexible interaction between the user and the system. This research focuses on the development of car recommendation system and does not extend to recommendation for other automotive products. Testing is conducted to evaluate the performance of the LLM approach within the CRS, so the results are specific for the car domain. Now, in the methodology section, we will explain how the Carfin system was developed. First, the system combines LLM technology and CRS. The goal is provide relevant and personalized car recommendation through conversational interaction. Second, in the system architecture and interaction flow, the system begins with the user input. When the user provides preference regarding the car they want, such as budget, car type, or desired feature, this input is then processed by the GPT model through several stages. Next, the GPT model begins the input analysis process, where the user information is analyzed to understand their need. Afterward, the data goes through the tokenization and embedding process, when the model converts the the input into a format the algorithm can understand. Then the model perform context analysis to match the user preference with the available car data. Finally, the system can generate a list of relevant car recommendation tailored to the user need and preference. This process allows for flexible and personalized interaction, providing a better and more directed recommendation experience. Third, in the pre-processing stage, we use dataset from Kaggle, which contain data on 1,000 types and model of cars. This data undergoes pre-processing steps such as data cleaning, removing missing value, and selecting important attributes like car name, manufacturing year, price, and other. Next, our GPT-4 model was fine-tuned using 200 specific dialogue with 80% of the data used for training and 20% for validation. This fine-tuning process was performed to improve the model accuracy within the car domain. We also utilize prompt engineering technique to ensure the system generate recommendation aligned with user preference through structured message format. The system is implemented on the Telegram platform, allowing for natural and flexible conversational interaction with user. The Carvin system is deployed on Telegram to facilitate interaction between user and the system. Telegram was chosen because it supports efficient bot creation, enabling us to design the flexible and responsive interaction. By using a Telegram bot, user can easily provide their preference such as budget or car type in an interactive manner. After user provide their input, the system process the information through the fine-tuned GPT model. The model analyzes the data and provide relevant and personalized car recommendation. This approach not only provides a more natural interaction experience, but also allows user to access the service anytime through their device. Telegram as bot platform also offer easy integration, making it an ideal solution for recommendation system like Carvin. Finally, we evaluate the system using metrics such as birth precision, recall, event score, and constant similarity to measure the accuracy and relevance of the recommendation. All this step aim to create an effective and relevant recommendation system. Next, we will discuss the result of the experiment from this research. First, let's look at the visualization matrix fine-tuning graph. This graph shows us decrease in loss during the training process. The consistent reduction in both training loss and validation loss indicate that the model has successfully learned the data patterns without overfitting. This suggests that the model is capable of handling new data effectively. Next, in the evaluation metric, before and after fine-tuning table, we can observe the system perform improvement after fine-tuning. This significant improvement in all metrics show that the Carvin system is now able to provide more accurate and relevant car recommendation compared to before fine-tuning. With better performance, the system can understand user preference and generate more personalized recommendation. There are several points of discussion regarding the result of this Carvin system research. First, in the evaluation metric session, the comparison of the model performance before and after fine-tuning shows a significant improvement. Metrics such as birth precision, recall, event score, and constant similarity all increase. This proves that the fine-tuning process successfully enhanced the relevance and accuracy of the recommendation provided by the system. Next, in the impact of fine-tuning, the GPT-4 model fine-tuned with the car-specific data was able to improve the accuracy of response to user preference. As a result, the system can provide recommendations that are more aligned with user needs, making interaction more personal and relevant. However, there are some challenges and limitations to note. The main challenge is the system scope, which is limited only to car recommendation. Additionally, the lack of broader data is constrained, especially in understanding more complex user preference. This discussion highlights that while the Carvin system deliver significant result, there is still room for further development in the future. After reviewing the evaluation result and discussion, we now arrive at the conclusion and future work, where I will summarize the achievement of this this research and discuss potential development for the future. This research successfully developed the Carvin system, which leverages large language model technology and conversational recommender system. The system saw significant improvement in various evaluation metrics after fine-tuning, ensuring that the recommendation provided are more relevant and aligned with user need. Additionally, Carvin offers a more personal and natural interaction experience, making the car selection process easier and more efficient for user. For further development, there are several opportunities to explore, such as improving user preference understanding by supporting more complex dialogue. The system can provide deeper and more specific recommendation. Next, adapting the system to consider car preference in different region will make recommendation more relevant to user from different location. Next, involving user directly to assess the ease of use and effectiveness of the system in helping them find the right car. With this development, we hope that Carvin will continue to evolve and become a more advanced solution in the future. Thank you all for your time and attention. I hope what has been presented can offer new insight and inspire future research or innovation. I'm very happy to open the Q&A session for you all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Alfiesa, for the insightful presentation. Now we will open the floor for questions. If you have a question, please use the raise hand feature in the Zoom. Kindly state your name and affiliation before asking your question. Okay, so we have Fatan Askar, Tiara Nofri, and Alicia. Okay, maybe we can okay, Fatan Askar, go ahead.
Okay, so I have a question about your choice regarding car recommendation. Why does this research only focus on cars and not extend to other automotive products like motorcycles, maybe, for example?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Fatan, for the question. Mr. Alfiesa, would you like to address this?
Yes. Okay. Thank you for Mr. Fatan for your question. There are several reasons why this research focus on only the domain of cars. First, the fine-tuning of the GPT-4 model was conducted using car-specific data to improve recommendation accuracy. Expanding it to other automotive product called reduce focus and lower recommendation quality. Two, the dataset used comes from Kaggle and contains detailed information about car, whereas data for other automotive product might not be as comprehensive. Last, user preference is in choosing a car. Car are already complex, involving maybe factors as price, year, and feature. Adding other categories could make it a more challenging for the system to accurately understanding for user need. In the future, this research can be expanded to other vehicle if sufficient data is available and the system is more refined. Maybe it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the answer, Mr. Alfiesa. Next, we have Mrs. Tiara Nofri. Please ask your question, please.
Let me introduce myself. My name is Tiara Nofri, and I'm from the Telkom University. I have a question for Mr. Alfies. What is the biggest factor in the system performance improvement after fine-tuning based on evaluation metrics? Thank you.
Okay. Thank you for your question, Mrs. Tiara. what the biggest factor, the improvement in evaluation metric after fine-tuning is due the following factor, like first, fine-tuning with car-specific data helps the model better understand the context and characteristic of car recommendation. Next, we utilize prompt engineering technique that ensure the model provides more structured response aligned with user preference. Maybe next, a model trained with specific dialogue example can capture user need more accurately, making recommendation more relevant. Next, fine-tuning reduce model errors in interpreting user input, improving precision and recommendation accuracy. Maybe with this factor, the system become more effective in understanding and providing car recommendation that match user preference. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the answer, Mr. Alvesa. Okay, everyone, due to time constraints, we must now move on. If you have additional questions, we encourage you to approach Mr. Alvesa during the break session. Let us now proceed to our next presenter. Please welcome Mrs. Tiara Zamroni from Telkom University, who will present a paper titled Skincare Recommender System Using Content-Based Filtering Method. Mrs. Tiara, will your presentation be live or will you be showing a video related to your paper?
I want live share screen.
Okay. You have 10 minutes. Place and time are welcome.
Okay, good morning, everyone. It's a great pleasure to attend the International Conference on Advancement in Data Science and E-Learning and Information System, or ICDS 2025. I would like to thank the organizer for providing this wonderful platform to share our research. Let me introduce myself. My name is Tiara Nofri Zamroni, and today I will be presenting our research entitled Skincare Recommender System Using Content-Based Filtering Method. This research is the result of collaboration with my co-authors, Mr. Baisal. As we know, skincare has become an important aspect of modern life, with many products available in the market. However, the sheer variety can make choosing the right product a daunting task. Over the next few minutes, I will introduce you to the key components of our research, including the background of the and related research that inspired this study, our methodology in developing the recommender system, key results and findings from our experiments, and the last one, our conclusion and direction for future research. And then let me start by providing an overview of the background and motivation of the research. In recent years, skincare has emerged as one of the fastest growing product categories. Traditionally, consumers have relied on best-selling products or store recommendation to choose their skincare. However, the diversity of products and the needs for compatibility with individual skin type have made this process increasingly complex. To address this issue, we propose a recommender system that leverages a content-based filtering approach. This system simplifies and personalized skincare product selection by analyzing product ingredients and aligning them with user preference, providing tailored recommendation that enhance the decision-making experience. And next, let's move to the related work section, where we explore the studies and methodologies. And we have one research is most related from the Gupta et al. That's this and with the title A Content-Based Skincare Product Recommender System, this study apply the cost and similarity algorithm to analyze the ingredients composition of skincare products. The results show that this content-based approach is able to recommend alternative product with similar ingredients composition. And then next to the methodology, You can look at the diagram. There is the skincare recommender process. This process begins by gathering data from various sources, including user review, product description, ingredients list, and then user demographics. This dataset provides a comprehensive view of user preference and product attributes. The raw data is clean and prepared to ensure consistency and quality. The steps include resolving missing or duplicate entries, and then standardizing text format and ensuring the data is ready for analysis. Preprocessing also involves segmenting user review based on unique ID to identify individual preference. After pre-processing, the system filter review by user ID to isolate preference at individual level, and then next step identifies active user, those who contribute the most reviews or provides detailed feedback, and then this priorities ensure that recommendations are based on rich and reliable data. The core of the recommendation system is analyzing product ingredients using TF-IDF method. The system assigns numerical weight to each ingredient. This weight represents the importance of an ingredient in distinguishing one product from another. With TF-IDF score, the system computes the cost similarity between products, and then once the similarity score are calculated, the system ranks the product and selects the top end recommendation for each user. And then next for the result and discussion. To evaluate the recommendation system, testing was conducted using user review dataset consisting of 5,000 entries. You can look at the evaluation metrics. The precision at 50 achieved the 0.98. The high precision confirms the system ability to prioritize the most relevant recommendation. And then for the recall at 50 was measured at 0.7656. While recall is strong, it suggests potential for improvement in capturing more relevant items. And then the system overall accuracy was 0.7878, showing reliability incorrectly predicting user preference. The F1 measure score 0.87 indicates a robust system that effectively balances precision and recall without heavily compromising one from another. And the last one, the low mean absolute error 0.21 indicates minimal error in predicting user preference, ensuring the system suggests closely match actual needs. And example, recommendation user ID 220, the recommend Zealand's Youth Concentrate Supreme Age Defying Serum with a similarity score 0.95, and then the reflecting a strong match for their anti-aging needs. These methods calculate the cost similarity between user preference and product features such as ingredients and categories to determine the most relevant product each user. And the last one is conclusion. We have developed a skincare recommendation system using a content-based filtering approach that achieve a high precision at 50 of 98% and F1 measure 0.87. The system demonstrates strong accuracy and relevance in suggesting product tailored to user preference. To further enhance the system, we recommend future research focus on improving recall rates, integrating hybrid filtering approach, and expanding the dataset to capture more diverse user needs and preference. I would like to thanks to everyone for your time and attention. I hope this presentation has provided valuable insight and meaningful. Thank you once again. I will take back with the moderator.
Okay, thank you very much, Mrs. Tiara Nofri Zamroni for the presentation. And now we will open the floor for questions. If you have a question, please use raise hand feature in Zoom and kindly state your name and affiliation before asking your question. Okay, so we have Mr. Fatan Askar. Please ask your question.
Okay, my name is Fathan Asghar and I'm affiliated with Telkom University. My question to you is, how does the system detect various forms of facial problems and provide product recommendations according to the problems they experience? And does the system only recommend at the beginning, or does the system monitor the progress of the user's skin condition?
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Fatan, for the question. Mrs. Tiara, would you like to address this?
Yes. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Fatan, for your question. Currently, recommendations are given at the beginning based on preference and product ingredients. However, the system can be changed with maybe computer vision technology or user feedbacks loop to monitors change in the user preference. Yeah, user skincare and adjust recommendation over the time. I think so.
Okay, thank you for the answer. Moving on to the next person, Mrs. Alicia Christina. Please ask your question.
Thank you for the opportunity. My name is Alicia Piscina Panusa from Telkom University. I have a question. So if one product has thousand of review while another has only a few, can the system still provide a fair recommendation? And how can we prevent the system for focusing too much on the most popular product? Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Alicia. Mrs. Tiara, would you like to address this?
Yes, the system does not only recommend product based on the number of reviews, but uses the content-based filtering that focus more on the similarity of ingredients. Those products with the few reviews still have a chance to be recommended if they match the user's needs.
Okay, thank you for the answer. The last person we have for this Q&A session is Mr. Alfiesa. Please ask your question.
Okay, thank you for your opportunity. I have a question. How does the system differentiate the types of product even of different skin types, such as oily, dry, or sensitive skin? Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Alfiesa. Mrs. Tiara, would you like to address this?
Yes, okay. Thank you, Mr. Alficia, for your question, and I will be answer. The system recognizes the skin types based on the initial data provided by the user, and then match it with the ingredients in the skincare products. With the ingredients based approach, the system ensure that the product is suitable for the user skin type.
Okay, thank you very much, Mrs. Tiara, for the answer. Let us now proceed to our next presenter. If you have additional questions, we encourage you to approach Mrs. Tiara during the break session. Okay, moving on to the next presenter, please welcome Mr. Ilham Adilion from Institut Teknologi 10 November. Would you like to present your presentation to be live, or will you be showing a video related to your paper?
I will present.
Okay.
Yes.
You have 10 minutes. Place and time are welcome.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ilham from ITS Surabaya, and today I will present our research about topic recommendation with article metadata using collaborative and content-based filtering on author activeness profiling. So what our research do is basically when an author write a paper, they are basing this paper on topics. Then these authors, we can know whether an author is an expert on a topic or not based on the number of articles they write on a topic. Therefore, Topic selection is very important for an author, and that's why we are building this system to create recommendation for topic selection. There are already several related research. Basically, it is on the undergraduate thesis topics and also some research using collaborative filtering and content-based filtering for recommendation for scientific articles. What we are doing here is we are using the CF or collaborative filtering and CB or content-based filtering to create this topic recommendation. And we will basing it on the author activeness profiling, in which we will explain further on the next section. Coming to the methodology. So our research is based on a data set from Sinta website, as you most likely already know. Sinta has a lot of research data, and we are gathering it from 2010 until 2020. So we get more than 200,000 research articles and more than 4,000 researchers. This is how the data looks like. So we have the table for the data set, for the topic, and for the researcher. And talking about the topic itself, we already defined on 18 topics, as you can see on the screen, on a wide range of topics. Now, what we are doing with the data set to create the recommendation is first we build the author activeness profile, or we say as AAP. And we also doing topic profiling. Based on these two, then we will create the recommendation using the CF or the collaborative filtering. We'll be using KNN, and there will be CP or content-based filtering with some similarity measures. So the AAP, we are using it to map author on their activeness and preferences in article writing. There are 4 main items of AAP. AAP number 1 is measuring the activeness of an author over the 18 topics. AAP 2 is measuring how active an author is. AAP 3 just listing how many articles when the author is not the main author. And the last AAP is the storing the most preferred topic from an author. So based on the flowchart, it looks like this. So from the data set, we do several processing, then we will have for AAP. And this is the example for the AAP. So AAP 1 consists of 18, then we have AAP 2, 3, and 4. Now, the other part of AAP, the data is we are creating the topic profiling. It's basically from the articles and from the topics, we are creating the profile of a topic. Like we are listing out the most notable keywords from a topic. So basically, in short, we have an article, we have several pre-processing steps, and we are picking the keywords. Then based from the keywords, so every topic has a keywords, then we can count the similarity of a topic with another topic based on the keyword similarity. So this is like just some example. For topic 5, we have the keywords, and based on these keywords, we have the similar topics. Now, what we are doing with that, so for the AAP, we are doing collaborative filtering using KNN. Basically, we are mapping the author in using the AAP. Then we are counting the closest neighbors using the KNN. Then from these closest authors, we get the topic of these closest authors. Then those topics becoming the topic recommendation. That is for the CF. About the CP, basically we are taking the articles and author writes, and we are taking which topic the author is writing on. Then based on the similarity measures, then we just get what is the closest topic from this topic and this topic. Then those topic with similarity, those most similar topic, we will make it an output for the CP topic recommendation. Talking about the results, first from the data set, we split into 2 parts. So to 2010 until 2015, becoming the training data or one used for the building recommendation system. 2016 until 2020, we are using it for the evaluation. So 5 years using to build and 5 years for the evaluation. We can check whether we are got it correctly or not. The actual topic, the outer right in the next 5 years. The experiment for the CF, we are calculating the optimal number of the neighbors. For the CB, we are calculating what is the best similarity measures. In short, for the CF, we have a CF experiment, we have the best optimal number of neighbor is 10. It reached the highest metric numerically, and qualitatively, we can also check. K10 have the best result because when we increase the number of the neighbors, then it is more prone to false positives. About the CB, what we got, we are comparing cosine, Jaccard, and Euclidean similarity, and we are getting that both Jaccard and cosine is giving the best similarity, the best metric score. But it only reached 62.92 because what we observe is that it's just based on the topic. You know, like an author, they can meet another people with similar interests, then they can collaborate in new topic. So this kind of things doesn't get covered on the CB experiment. So for the conclusion, we in this research already successfully built a topic recommendation system using AAP with CF and CB. For the CF, we can generate best recommendation score with K10. F1 score is 83. For the CB, we are using the Jaccard and we are getting 63%. What we can recommend if we want to build topic recommendation system, then we can use the CF or collaborative filtering with KNN using K value of 10. And for the future works, there are several suggestions. One is we can consider the shift of the topic trend. Like for example, in the past, there are not many people talking about LLM. Now is many people talking about LLM. So this trend shift can be considered. Then we can also have the mechanism maybe to automatically adjust neighbor number for CF. And we can combine both CB and CF, of course. And also in the last future work is integrating the topic recommendation system with user interface. Yeah, and that is all from us. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Ilham, for the insightful presentation. We'll now open the floor for question. Kindly state your name and affiliation before asking your question. Okay, Mr. Fatan, please ask your question.
Okay, my name is Fatan Askar and I'm from Telkom University. I would like to ask you, what was your the biggest challenge that you have faced during your research for making this topic recommendation? And how did you face it?
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Fatan. Okay, I think the most difficult part is the processing the data from the Sinta into the format that we are correctly can use on the research, because you know we have to collect data from 10 years and like there are a lot of researchers and a lot of topic and so on. But yeah, we have worked as a team. Like there are a team of researchers that we can spare the time and we can spare the technical capabilities to be able to collect this data, and later on we use on the building of the topic recommendation system.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Fatan, for the question, and thank you, Mr. Ilham, for the answer. Maybe everyone would want to ask to Mr. Ilham. Okay, if no one asks, I will ask a question for Mr. Ilham. Can you explain how the AAP helps tailor topic recommendations and how does it adjust the interest evolve over time?
Yeah, thank you very much. So basically, from the AAP here, we can map the author's preference. So not only about what is the favorite topic, or not only by how much an author write on a topic, but also we can measure whether an author is when he's writing on a topic or when he's writing on some publication, whether he's actually an active author, like the first or the second author, or whether he's not the active author, right? For example, like when we write a research paper, usually the first author is the main contributor, but the next author, toward the last author, is usually mostly work on the review process of the article. So the advantage of the AAP is we can detect this kind of things. So when we trying to make a recommendation topic, it will be more specific to what the author will actually can use on his next publication. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for the answer. Let's moving on to our next presenter. If you have additional questions, please approach Mr. Ilham during the break session. For our next presenter, please welcome Mr. Fatan Askar from Telkom University, who will present a paper titled Conversational Recommender System using a combination of fine-tuned GPT-4o and retrieval augmented generation for laptop recommendations. Mr. Fatan, will you be presenting live or will you be showcasing a video related to your paper?
I'll be presenting live.
Okay. You have 10 minutes. Place and time are welcome.
Can you guys see the screen?
Yes.
Okay. Assalamualaikum. Hello everyone, my name is Fatan Askar, and today I will be presenting our research about the conversational recommender system that combines fine-tuned GPT-4o and retrieval augmented generation to deliver personalized and scalable laptop recommendations. Here is the outline of my presentation. First, I'll start with the introduction, where I'll explain the importance of conversational recommender systems and the motivation behind this research. Next, in the background and related work, I will discuss the foundations of this research, limitations of existing methods, and how this research builds on prior studies. Then I'll move on to methodology, where I'll explain the system flow, the role of fine-tuned GPT-4o and RAG in developing our combined model. Finally, I'll present the evaluation and conclusion, showcasing the model's performance metrics, user feedback, and summarizing the key findings and future directions. Firstly, introduction. Selecting the right laptop can be overwhelming due to the vast number of options available. Conversational Recommender Systems, or CRS, aims to address this problem by enabling more personalized recommendations. However, traditional CRS methods face notable limitations. For instance, form-based layouts restrict user expression, while conventional NLP methods struggle to interrupt complex or implicit user preferences and often require extensive domain-specific training. To tackle these challenges, our research proposes a CRS combining fine-tuned GPT-4o and retrieval augmented generation. GPT-4o excels in natural language understanding, while RAG ensures scalability by integrating large-scale datasets. Together, the system delivers accurate and personalized laptop recommendation. This research makes three main contributions. Firstly, we introduce a conversational recommender system that combines fine-tuned GPT-4o and retrieval augmented generation to resolve the issues faced by recent methods by utilizing the LLM's ability to comprehend complex conversation and RAG's efficient integration of large-scale datasets for personalized and scalable recommendations. Secondly, we validated the efficiency of the suggested approach through evaluations using hit rate, precision, NDCG metrics, and as well as real-world validation through user feedback. And lastly, with the combination of fine-tuned GPT-4o and RAG method, we established a strong foundation for future advancements in CRS. We'll be moving on to background and related work. There are three main components in this research. First, conversational recommender systems, or CRS. CRS uses conversations to capture user preferences, offering more flexibility and accuracy compared to other traditional recommender system methods. Second, large language models, or LLMs, like GPT-4o, excels in understanding complex conversations and generating precise recommendations. Third, retrieval augmented generations, or RAG. RAG retrieves relevant data from large datasets, ensuring scalability and accurate recommendations. And existing methods face certain challenges, such as rigid layouts and limited flexibility for form-based layouts. And for conventional NLP, they struggle to capture complex user preferences and requires extensive domain-specific training. Previous studies, like Ayundita et al., used ontology-based methods, but lacked flexibility to recommend laptops. Shirian et al. Employed SpecMaster, a chatbot for recommendation, but this type of conventional NLP struggles with implicit user needs. Recent advancements in LLMs have shown potential, particularly in improving user engagement and recommendation quality. However, scalability and dataset integration remains a challenge. That's why we propose a CRS combining fine-tuned GPT-4o and RAG to address these limitations and deliver a more scalable and personalized solution. Next, the methodology. Firstly, the system flow. The system begins by collecting user preferences, such as brand, RAM, and price, and other laptop specifications through interactive dialogues. The user must provide at least 3 inputs or specify 5 laptop features before the system provides recommendations. The preferences are then stored and matched using RAG's retrieval technique, which retrieves the relevant laptops from large metadata database. GPT-4o, fine-tuned for this domain, processes the user inputs to generate accurate recommendations. This combined model ensures a balance between natural language understanding and efficient retrieval, delivering accurate and user-friendly recommendations. Our methodology has 4 parts. First, the dataset use. The first dataset includes 991 laptops from Brand's laptop dataset for fine-tuning the GPT-4o model. Then the second dataset use has over 26,000 detailed laptop records taken from Amazon Reviews dataset using the electronics metadata. Second, RAG's retrieval technique. We use RAG's retrieval technique by using TF-IDF and FAISS to perform efficient similarity-based searches, handling large datasets at scale. Third, fine-tuned GPT-4o. A fine-tuned GPT-4o processes user inputs, extracts structured queries, and generates recommendations based on the user's needs. And finally, combined model integrates GPT-4o's natural language understanding and RAG's retrieval efficiency, delivering accurate and scalable recommendations. This is the overall system design and simplified process of the combined model, where you can see the model interpreting the user's input, formatting it into RAG so it can retrieve an accurate laptop, and at the end, the CRS recommends the top-end laptops that suits the user's specifications. And lastly, evaluation and conclusion. For performance metrics, we evaluated the model using 3 key metrics. Firstly, hit rate. This metric assesses how often a single correct recommendation appears in the top-end results. Second, precision. This metric evaluates the proportion of relevant recommendations among the top-end results. And thirdly, NDCG, or normalized discounted cumulative gain. This metric measures the ranking quality, giving higher importance to relevant items at the top of the list. The results show that the combined model consistently outperforms both RAG and fine-tuned GPT-4o only model across all metrics, achieving the highest overall scores for hit rate, precision, and NDCG. This demonstrates the model's ability to balance understanding user needs and retrieving accurate recommendations effectively. Next, we analyzed user feedback. The table shows that the combined model outperformed the other 2 models across all 6 metrics that we use, which were relevance, or REL, which shows how relevant the recommendations provided by a particular model were. Easy to use, ETU, and ease of understanding, EOU, highlighting the simplicity and clarity of the model. Informative, or EINF, highlighting how informative the model is in providing recommendations. Perceived recommendation quality, or PRQ, which evaluates how aligned the recommendations provided from the model are to users' needs. And trust, TR, which gauges user confidence in recommendations provided. Users also rated the overall satisfaction highest for the combined model at 3.145, surpassing AirAG at 2.625 and fine-tuned GPT-4o at 2.802. This is scored between 1 and being the lowest score and 4 being the highest score. The pie chart shows that the combined model was the preferred choice 60 times, highlighting its strong balance of scalability and language understanding. These results emphasize its capability to deliver the best user experience. In conclusion, this research proposes the development of a conversational recommender system by combining fine-tuned GPT-4o and AirAG to deliver personalized and scalable laptop recommendations. The combined model outperformed AirAG and fine-tuned GPT-4o across all evaluation metrics, supported by user feedback highlighting its usability and effectiveness. While effective, the system's computational demands and domain-specific focus leave room for optimization and broader application. Future work should focus on optimizing computational efficiency, expanding applications to other domains, and additional user validation to refine the CRS development. And these are the list of references that I have used to help my research. Thank you all for listening to my presentation. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Fatan, for the insightful presentation. We will now open the floor for questions. If you have a question, please use the raise hand feature in the Zoom. Kindly state your name and affiliation before asking your question. Okay, Mrs. Alicia, please ask your question.
Thank you for the opportunity. My name is Alicia Kristina Pariosa from Telkom University. I have a question. Can you elaborate on how you fine-tune GPT-4o for this specific task, and what kind of data was used for fine-tuning? Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Alicia, for the question. Mr. Fatan, would you like to address this?
Yeah, okay. So we fine-tune the GPT-4o model through OpenAI, following their instructions on how to fine-tune a specific model of theirs. We use a dataset of 991 laptops from the brand's laptops dataset from Kaggle, like I said before, incorporating 22 key features such as brand, RAM, CPU, GPU, and other laptop specifications. The fine-tune process involved making and training the model on structured dialogues that we created ourselves of user input and the system response towards the user inputs for each of the laptops that are contained in the brand's laptop dataset that we use. In order for the GPT-4o model to grasp implicit user specifications or needs for a specific laptop and for the model to generate an appropriate recommendation. And the training was split into 80% train and 20% validation to ensure the generalizability.
Okay, thank you for the answer. Okay, moving on to the next person, we have Mr. Alfiesa. Please ask your question.
Okay, thank you. My name is Alvesia from Telkom University. I have question. Your study focus on laptop recommendation. Nah, how adaptable is your system to other product categories, and what modification will be required to generalize it? Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Alfiesa, for the question. Mr. Patan, would you like to address this?
Yeah, okay. So it is adaptable, but the main thing is you need the right data. So the system can be adapted to other product categories with minor modifications in the data. The key adjustments include changing the data set with relevant product specifications that are required in that type of product, and also retraining a GPT-4o model or other GPT-4 models as you wish on the category specific conversation based on the new product that you want to recommend. And also refine GPT-4o to train on. Given GPT-4o's strong language generalization capabilities, transitioning to other domains such as maybe smartphones or home appliances would be relatively straightforward, in my opinion, or with the correct data.
Okay, thank you very much for the answer, Mr. Fatan. Moving on to the next person, we have Mrs. Tiara Novri. Please ask your question.
Okay, thank you for reading. My name is Tiara Novri, and I'm from Telkom University. And what motivates you to combine fine-tune GPT-4o with retrieval augmentation generation for laptop recommendation instead of using one approach alone?
Okay, thank you for the question. Mr. Fatan, would you like to address this?
Okay, so what motivated us to combine the Python GPT-4o with RAG is to address the limitations in existing CRSs from form-based layouts and CNLP, like form-based layouts flexibility and CNLP intensive domain-specific training. And as for the combination for the fine-tuned GPT-4o and RAG, each has its own strengths, so we combine it both, so it would become much better. The Python GPT-4o offers strong natural language understanding, but it lacks scalability when dealing with large data sets. On the other hand, RAG ensures relevant retrieval from extensive data sets, but struggle with conversational fluency and user interaction. So by combining them, we leverage GPT-4o's ability to interrupt complex queries and RAG's retrieval efficiency, resulting in a more accurate and scalable recommendation system.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Fatan, for the answer. Due to time constraints, we must now move on to our next presenter. Please welcome Mrs. Alicia Christina Parinusa, who will present a paper titled Time-Based Collaborative Filtering for Movie Recommendation Using Implicit Feedback. Okay, Mrs. Alicia, will you be presenting live, or maybe you will be showcasing a video related to your paper?
I will live presentation.
Okay. You have 10 minutes. Place and time are welcome.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining the session. I am Alicia Christina Barunusa from the School of Computing Telkom University. Honored to be part of ECDs to present our paper, Time-Based Collaborative Filtering for Movie Recommendation Using Implicit Feedback, co-author with Abdurrahman Baizal. This presentation will focus on how integrating time dimension and implicit feedback enhance movie recommender system. Here are the main sections that will be covered in this presentation. Section 1, Introduction. Section 2, Related Words. Section 3, Methodology. Section 4, Experimental Result and Analysis. And Section 5, Conclusion. Let us begin with the first section of this presentation. So the way we watch movie has transformed in the digital era, with streaming platforms providing endless options. But with so many choices, finding the right movie can be difficult. Recommender system solve this by tailoring content to match individual preference, creating a more personalized experience. While many studies have included temporal factors, combining them with implicit feedback in the movie domain remains uncommon. This gap often results in recommendations that fail to adapt to dynamic user behaviors influenced by time, like changes in viewing habits based on the day of the week. To overcome this, we use Time SVD++, a model that captures temporal dynamics, adapt to evolving preference, and provides more accurate, relevant, and context-aware recommendation. The objective of this study are threefold. First, to develop a movie recommender system using Time SVD++ that integrates time dimension and implicit feedback. Second, to address the limitation of SVD++ by incorporating temporal biases for both users and items. Third, to utilize dynamic time and interaction weights in time SVD++ to deliver more contextual and user-aligned recommendation. Here is a review of related works highlighting contribution and gaps. Wu et al. 2020 and Xin et al. 2023. Both studies leverage implicit feedback, easy watch duration, purchases, and clicks to improve recommendation. Wu et al. Introduced RMIF outperforming traditional model like SVD++, while Xin et al. Proposed the MBA framework, which surpassed methods like MF, BPR. However, neither method integrated temporal dimension, making them less adaptive to dynamic change in user behavior. Azri et al. 2021 developed IU Auto Time SVD++, a hybrid system that effectively captures temporal dynamics and outperforms MF and SVD++. However, this method did not utilize implicit feedback, limiting its ability to handle more diverse user interaction. Next, we will move on to the methodology section, which explain the dataset and the workflow of the recommender system. In this study, we use the Kion Movies recommendation dataset covering March 13 to August 22, 2021. After selecting users with at least 15 interactions, the final dataset consists of 1,560 users, 7,138 items, and a total of 45,874 interactions. The table on the right provides an overview of the dataset structure. This dataset serves as the foundation for developing the time-based recommendation model, which will be discussed in the next section. The system begins with input consisting of user ID and the day of the week, 0 for Monday and 6 for Sunday, used to calculate time weights based on user habit. Next, the system calculates the daily time weights based on interaction distribution, where days with higher interaction volumes are assigned greater weights. Interaction data is then converted into positive weights, one if watch duration is greater than equal to 2000 seconds and completion percentage is greater than equal to 30%, or negative weights minus 0.5 for other interactions. These weights are normalized to ensure consistency, and time weight 70% and interaction weight 30% are combined to produce the total weight, which serve as the foundation for training the time SVD++ model. The model is trained using key parameters such as the number of latent factors, the number of training epoch, learning rate, and regularization to optimize performance. And finally, the system calculates prediction score for items that has not interacted with. These scores take into account the global average, user and item biases, and latent factor interaction. Items with the highest scores are included in the top 10 recommendation list, ensuring relevance and alignment with user preference. Next, we move to the experimental results and analysis section to discuss the evaluation and performance of the proposed model. Evaluation is crucial to measure the model's ability to deliver accurate and relevant recommendation. The study used three metrics: precision, recall, and NDCG, to comprehensively assess performance, conferring accuracy, coverage, and relevance. Based on the table, time SVD++ demonstrated higher scores compared to SVD++ across all key metrics. The model achieved over a 24.49% improvement in ranking relevance and DCG, a 25.19% increase in precision, and a 6.06% enhancement in recall. And this result proved that time SVD++ effectively captures temporal dynamics in producing recommendations that are more relevant and aligned with user behavior patterns. By integrating temporal effects, time SVD++ over a more contextual and user preference aligned solution compared to traditional methods. The graph shows that time SVD++ consistently outperforms SVD++ across all key metrics, NDCG, precision, and recall. This highlights the effectiveness of temporal effects in enhancing recommendation quality. To wrap up this presentation, let's discuss the key conclusion and insights drawn from the study. The time SVD++ algorithm significantly enhanced recommendation quality by leveraging its temporal factors and combining dynamic time weights with interaction weight from implicit feedback, such as watch duration and completion percentage. Our experimental results show that time SVD++ consistently outperforms SVD++ across all key metrics, precision, recall, and NDCG, delivering more accurate, relevant, and personalized top and recommendation tailored to user habits and daily viewing patterns. This temporal-based approach not only proved effective in the movie domain, but also holds great potential for application in other areas with strong temporal data, paving the way for future advancement. Thank you for your attention and the time you've taken to listen this presentation. I hope this research offer valuable insights into enhancing recommendation system with time dimension and implicit feedback. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mrs. Alicia, for the presentations. We will now open the floor for questions. If you have a question, please use the raise hand feature in Zoom. Okay, for the first person, we have Mr. Alfiesa. Please ask your question.
Okay, thank you. I have a question. Why does the study prefer using implicit feedback over explicit rating in the recommendation system? Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Alfiesa, for the question. Mrs. Alicia, would you like to address this?
Thank you for your question, Mr. Alfesa. Implicit feedback is chosen because it naturally reflects user behavior without requiring them to provide explicit ratings. For example, by analyzing watch duration and completion percentage, we can understand user preference without the need for direct input. Additionally, explicit ratings are often rarely given and tend to be provided only by a subset of users, which can introduce a bias. In contrast, implicit interaction data is more extensive and available in large quantities. By leveraging this data, the recommendation system can be better understand user consumption patterns and generate more accurate and relevant recommendation. That's all. I hope this answer your question. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for the answer, Mrs. Alicia. Next person we have Mrs. Tiara. Please ask your question.
Okay, Mrs. Alicia, I want to ask you, why was time SVD++ chosen over other models that also consider a temporal factor?
Okay, thank you very much, Mrs. Tiara, for the question. Mrs. Alicia, would you like to address this?
Okay. Thank you for your question, Ms. Tiara. We choose time SVD++ in this study because it effectively captures change in user preference over time. This method adjusts interaction rate based on adaptive time weights, which are calculated from the frequency of user interaction on each day of the week. And previously, we test the KNN method with a time-based approach, but it did not perform well in capturing temporal patterns. TimeSVD++ is more effective because it directly integrates time-related factors and implicit feedback into the matrix factorization process, making recommendation more accurate and relevant. So that's all. I hope this answers your question. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the answer. We have less than 2 minutes left. Mr. Fatan, please ask your question.
Okay, so I'd like to ask, what's the main limitation or challenges that you face in the approach that you used in the study?
Okay, thank you. Mrs. Alicia, would you like to address?
Okay. Thank you for your question, Mr. Fatan. In this study, our approach provides fairly accurate recommendation, but there are still some limitation. One of the main challenges is that the performance may not be optimal for users with limited interaction. This is because model like TimeSVD++ requires sufficient data to accurately understand user preference. As a result, recommendation for our new or infrequent users may be less precise. To address this issue, future research could explore hybrid approach, integrate contextual information, or implement cold start handing strategies to improve recommendation, even with minimal data. That's all. I hope this answer your question. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for the answer, Mrs. Alicia. If you guys have additional questions, we encourage you to approach Mrs. Alicia during the break session. Okay, thank you very much for all the presenters for the excellent presentations. Before we wrap up, let's take another group screenshot to remember this session. Please make sure to turn your camera on if they're off, and make sure everyone is visible. I'll count down again. Okay, 1, 2, 3. One more time, please. 1, 2, 3. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the parallel session. On behalf of ICA DEIS 2025, I would like to thank to all our presenters for their exceptional contributions and insights. I would also like to extend my gratitude to all participants for their engagement and thought-provoking questions. We hope this session has been both informative and inspiring. Please be reminded that the next session will begin at 1 p.m. We invite you to stay and continue exploring the valuable ideas and discussion presented throughout the conference. Thank you once again and have a wonderful day. Goodbye, everyone.